We should care about urban expansion because cities in the developing countries are going to double and triple their population in the next 30 years. We should care about urban expansion if we want the new areas to be productive, to be integrated into the metropolitan economy, if we want them to be inclusive so that people could afford the housing there, and if we want it to be environmentally sustainable so that we have enough open space there and we can protect that open space. There are many rapidly growing cities in sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia that will more than triple their land area in the coming 30 years. They need to project these areas, they need to get jurisdiction over these areas, they need an arterial road grid, 1 kilometer apart, 30-meter wide roads in the entire expansion area, and they need to get the land for that grid now. They also have to protect sensitive open spaces from development. These expansion areas need to be connected to the metropolitan economy in order for the city to be productive. That's what the arterial road grid is for. They will naturally be orderly, better organized with this arterial grid, and they will eventually be compact. They may be growing gradually and filling in later. We don't know which cities are going to develop rapidly, and we don't know how much land is going to be needed for development. We have to prepare a lot of it, but maybe it will develop and maybe not. So we should not invest in infrastructure before development gets there. We should only acquire the land for the infrastructure grid, but only invest in it later when the need arises. In every city, there's a different land regime on the periphery. In Colombia, all we had to do to acquire the land for the arterial roads is to put liens on property titles. In Ethiopia, we've had to survey the roads and move settlers to the edge of the road by giving them 99-year leases on the properties that they will occupy. In some countries, it's much easier to acquire land for the rights-of-way of infrastructure grids, and in others. In Israel, Ecuador, Colombia, to take a few examples, when you convert land from rural to urban use, 40% of that land has to be in public use. This is the easiest and the best way to secure adequate lands for urban expansion.